Panda, 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 panda. I got broads in Atlanta. Just took the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Getting no licks in the band. Legacies.
What up, y'all? This is your boy DMV Ken. If you hear the wolf sounds in the background, you know we 10 toes down. You are now locked into the voice of reason. Let's get it. So 10 years. 10 years. Possibly paroled after 3.5, 4 years. Another 6 years on parole. 10 years is what this black man's life was worth. A man that did not bother anybody. A man that was in his home, eating ice cream, watching television. His life was worth 10 years. With possibly parole, most likely parole, after 3.5 to 4 years. 6 years on parole. And then she's off scot-free, clean. 10 years. What does that say about the life of the young black brother, the young black sister that's actually out there on the corner doing dirt? What does that say about your life if you have a criminal background or past? What does that say about your life? How much more is your life worth then? Is it like Mike Brown or Trayvon Martin? A trial? Acquittal? Because if this good black man that did not have any criminal history, no bad background, a good brother in his home, minding his business, shot and killed and murdered and left to die, if his life is worth 10 years, how much more is your life worth? There are people in jail right now for tax evasion, embezzlement, financial crimes against other rich, wealthy people, rich and wealthy white folks. How much more is your life worth? This black man didn't do anything to anybody. A normal middle-class dude. His life is worth 10 years. For this woman to be caressed and coddled. I don't mind that they forgave her. But if those roles were reversed, that man, if it was Botham Jean that would have committed this act against Amber Guyger, let's go a little bit deeper, because is the family going to be compensated? Is there going to be a civil trial? Is the police force going to be held accountable? Because this woman said that she confused his apartment for hers because of the amount of hours she was working. Now, even though I think that's still ridiculous, it's not far-fetched. Because I worked in careers where the hours were long, the work was hard, and you had to put in more hours, you were underpaid, you have overworked, and you made complaints that, hey, something bad might happen because we're overworked. We have too many cases, however it may be. So when something bad like this happens, now do we hold the police department responsible for overworking this woman? Can the Botham family file a civil suit against the police department for overworking this woman? Are they now held accountable or responsible for this man's death? Somebody let me know. 10 years. A good man, a man that did not do anything to anybody. That's what his life is worth. That's what his life is worth. What now? What now? All the folks that so-called take this stand for police brutality, what you gonna do now? All the folks that we are, I don't know if we elected as a black community, as a community as a whole, but the folks that decided to step up to the forefront and be the voice for us. All the folks that speak on our behalf, what now? What you gonna do now? Since this is fresh, we give you some time. But what now? Where do we go from here now? $10 years is what this good black man's life is worth. How much more is your life worth when it comes down to it? Who's going to speak up on behalf of this family? Who's going to stand in the gap? Who's going to stand up and come up on the front lines of this thing? I'm sick of memes. I'm sick of everybody getting on the internet and just talking a bunch of crap and nobody doing nothing. Community, what we gonna do now? Because if this good black man's life is worth 3 to 4 years in prison and 6 on parole, scot-free, in his own home, murdered, if his life is worth that little, how much more is yours if you got a dirty background? I'm pissed. This is not right. I think this family needs to try to file a civil suit against the police department and give this family some compensation, some type of justice, since the criminal justice system told them that their son's life is worth so little. This is your boy, DMV Ken. This is the voice of reason. Subscribe, comment, like, share. I'm out. I appreciate the support.